very often for newborn about 100 days. So, bird therapeutics in lots of the country, it's called 100-day cough. Because it happened in newborn around 100 days. What makes it so special? The cough is whooping cough. What is whooping cough? Which means you're very productive cough with a respiratory gasp. So very productive with respiratory gasp. Kind of like a cough, 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 then cough, 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 like that. You see the hear the voice there. So very productive cough with respiratory gasp. Now how are we going to diagnose this? This is what I want to say. It's very interesting. All the other symptoms are the same thing. How we diagnose it? So you have a baby here. I'm not very good at drawing, okay? We have a baby here. Just like this nose, okay? You're not going to just say, open your mouth, say, I'm going to see tonsil area. You're not going to see much. You need to see is a nasal flagell to see what happens. So what happens? You're using a swab, go to the nasal flagell, the nasal tractor, go to the nose, and to do the test. Now where are you going to do? Then how deep it is? The deep is usually half distance between earlobe to the nose. This is how deep you should be. And it is very interesting. You cannot just use a general cotton swab to do it. Cotton swab everybody has. It's need a very special material called dacron. It's a dacron cotton swab. The reason is University of Utah back in 1990s, the medical center did lots of the research. They tried different material. They find the dacron swab can recover the bacteria is most effective. So you need to use a dacron cotton swab. It is a nasal flagell swab. And once you get this nasal flagell swab, you're going to do PCR, polymerase chain reaction. Okay, you heard about this all the time. Polymerase chain reaction. Multi-million copy of the DNA sequencing. So you get enlarged and you get a signal. And also we add fluorescence. So fluorescence PCR, we do that. Okay, same thing. This disease, you need to report to CDC. So we need to transport the media. What's the transport media? Regular transport media. The dacron cotton swab need to put in regular transport media and go to the CDC reference lab to further identify this is bird therapeutics. So sounds very interesting, this passage. Now, before they develop to the respiratory tract gasp, the whooping cough, they do have a little bit of incubation time, about 7 to 14 days. But that's not really important. The important symptoms is really the whooping cough. Now, once you happen to this, what do? People checking you DTAP, whether you give a shots or not. Now, by the way, you need to know the DTAP shots, you need to get a lot of boosters. It's not only one shot. So you need to have a shot immediately. Anyway, but at the same time, you need to give the antibiotics. But then the remaining question is, why you need a different boosters? And you need to know, our immune system has basically two lines, T cell line and B cell line. What's a T cell line we call? Cell-mediated immune. What's a B cell line we call? Humoral immune. And these type of DTAP, this vaccine is toxoid. Toxoid, which is a toxin-like modified chemical. So these type of the toxoid, they only activate is T cell line. T cell line. They do not do anything with B cell line. Now what's the difference? B cell line has antibody. Remember antibody structure? Light chain, heavy chain, light chain. Then this is the FC area, this is variable area, and then you combine with antigen. Is that right? So this is only activate is T cell line. There's no antibody. If there's no antibody, what is going to happen? No longer memory time. Because this is T cell line is more universal. You have a T killer cell, T helper cell, all kinds of different names, but it's not a very long memorization time. So you need these booster shots all the time. Same as the COVID-19. Remember, you have the first shot, is that right? People, you're gonna have to do it. 1 month later, you get a second shot. Then the CDC will say it's only lasts about half a year. Then started to decrease the effective dose. So you need to give another shot. Then people say every year you need to give another shot. And some people who have 5 shots already. So they are a little bit tricky behind it because these are only activated T cell lines. They're not activated the B cell lines. So the memorization of these immune is relatively short. So you need to have to give shorter. Also you need to give all these kind of boosts. Okay? So that's important for you to know about these. Okay, we're almost done here. We just want to mention one slide. Then we'll talk about streptococcus next week. You always gonna remember this. Because when we talk about streptococcus, this slide is gonna talk about all the time. This tells you blood agar is a differentiated medium. They could differentiate a bacteria in a clinical area in 2 different categories, which is alpha hemolytic, looks like Streptococcus pneumoniae, it's green color, dark green color, incomplete hemolysis, we mentioned. On the top is Streptococcus pyogenes, which is called Strep's route. It is transparent zone, we call beta hemolytic. These slides we will refer again and again because that's a very simple and direct evidence to differentiate these 2 different bacteria. So next week we will talk about Streptococcus pneumoniae and Staphylococcus. I'm thinking about I'm going to give a speak still on Tuesday. Thursday my graduate students Corey will talk about the feeds, the microbial safety of the chicken feeds, because we were encouraged to let you know a broad base of the microorganism in our everyday life. That's why we say it's living a microbiology world. This is a disease we live in a microbiology world. We need to touch about the other things. So that's why he will talk about the bacteria, food safety related to the chicken feeds, and the thermal inactivation. Okay, so the plan will be that. Okay.